Hey Sea Dragons, welcome to Art. I'm Mr. Horner. A few videos ago I asked you what kind of art you might like to make in the future, and several students said that they would like to do portraits or self-portraits. So in this video, I'm going to start working on some portraits with you. It's going to be really fun to use our new materials that a lot of you picked up. More than half of the school picked up their art kits, including the Colors of the World People Color crayons that will be really handy for our portraits today. I think I'll also use my primary color crayons here. Let's check out some portraits by artists from around the world, and then we'll work on our own portraits. A portrait is when an artist paints a person, and a self-portrait is when an artist paints themselves. This is a self-portrait by an Italian artist named Sofonisba, and she painted this in 1554. She also painted kings and queens and other royalty. She was pretty successful and lived a long life with making lots of paintings. In this artwork, we can see she's holding a little book that she painted in here, and this tells us her name and the date that she painted it. It says 1554 down here, and it also tells us that she was looking in a mirror when she painted it. It's in the inscription here. So this was long before cameras were invented, so artists, when they did a self-portrait, they would be looking in a mirror. And people still practice this today, but we also have cameras that can help us when we do our self-portraits. I'd like you to notice that this one is a very realistic style. That was typical of the time and place that she lived in, that they would work to kind of match what they see in real life. But she definitely chose an interesting color for the background, this kind of gray-green, and really paid attention to the clothes that she was wearing in this as well. This painting is much more recent, from 2007, and it's by Natalino dos Reis Pires, and he's from East Timor, which is a little island down by Australia and north of Australia towards Asia. And what's interesting about this one is it's much more close up of a portrait. So it's kind of cropped with his head going off the page a little bit. And he's not looking forward. We're seeing the side of his face. So this kind of also tells us that he must have used a camera, because you can't look in a mirror and see the side of your face. So he probably used a camera when he painted this. Again, this is a realistic style. Here's a different style of self-portrait, and this is by Faith Ringgold, which I know a lot of my students have heard of because she wrote Tar Beach, which is a book we look at in art class. She's known for some of her storybooks like Tar Beach and for her art quilts that she makes. This is a self-portrait of her, and I really like that she used surprising colors in this, putting that blue in parts of the face, and used many different brown tones on her arms, her neck, her forehead, and her hair, just putting a lot of variations of browns in there to make it more interesting. She also included a background shape to fill up this space. I'm not sure if this symbolizes something, but I like that it fills that space and adds something that kind of frames her. This is an artist named Rodel Tapaya, and he's from the Philippines. He's known for his artworks that are very dreamlike and show like mythical creatures and kind of fairy tale stories in them. In this portrait, he's put patterns over his face in bright colors, which is not something he probably has on his face in real life. He just wanted to add that. And you can do anything like this you want with your portrait. It's all about expressing yourself and showing something about the artist in the portrait. This is by Aisha Galambieva, and she's from Kazakhstan. This one is very different than the others in how loose the painting is. There's lots of like splatters and brush marks, and it looks like she was painting quickly, but also just really enjoying the feeling of the paint going onto the canvas. I like paintings that have lots of layers of colors like this. They're all mixed together, and you can't even tell exactly what's there, but I think all those colors together and the way she's sitting and her face show that it's pretty cheerful and energetic and also calm at the same time. You can look in a mirror to draw yourself, or you can use your tablet or laptop to take a picture. That way it will stay still while you look at it. I took a few pictures and then chose one that I'll use for my portrait. I tried ones from the side like this, and I tried ones kind of looking 3/4 view at the corner of my face. This one's a kind of 3/4, kind of straight on, but it's not completely straight on. So I'm going to use that one. And when you're using these people color crayons, the best way to find a color, if you want to use it for you, is to match it to the back of your hand. You find one that looks like you think it might be right, and then you can scribble it on the paper. Make a nice solid scribble there just to test it out, and you'll hold the back of your hand next to it and find the right color. So this one's pretty close to mine, and it's called Light Medium Almond. We all have more colors than just one in our skin, so you'll definitely need more than one of those. I found that almond one and a golden one that I need for mine, but I'm also going to put some surprise colors in like we saw in some of those portraits. Throw in some greens, some oranges, purples, any colors you want, just to make it more exciting, a little more unique, and maybe it's your favorite colors, or maybe it's how you're feeling. Think of ways you can throw in some more colors than just what matches your hand. Throw in some things to make it more creative. Here's my self-portrait that I came up with. I used 3 or 4 or 5 of my people colors to make some of these light parts, like in here on the nose, in here on the forehead, and the red of the lips and the cheeks, as well as all the hair color, which is kind of a gray-brown. I also used a bright green, blue, purple, and orange in kind of littler bits and kind of layers with the crayon to just give a lot more brighter colors to this portrait. It's something I enjoy doing, so I think it fits for my self-portrait, is to mix those colors together. They kind of almost shimmer together when you look at it. it's like anywhere you're looking at 3 colors all together, so it's kind of bright like a rainbow in a way. So I wanted to show you that when you use your crayons, you don't have to just fill things in with one color. Try to throw some surprise colors in there to make it more exciting and creative. It kind of gives the viewer something unexpected when they go to see a portrait, but then they notice all these bright colors in there. Remember that I showed you several different portraits, each one with something special about them, something different that each artist did. So you don't have to draw looking at a picture perfectly. You can really express yourself with this. It doesn't have to even look like you. If it feels like you, if it is about you, that's a self-portrait. It doesn't have to look exactly like you to be an excellent work of art. So I hope you'll just have fun with this, mess around with mixing those colors, and just enjoy the feeling of making that drawing with your hands, and then show it to me on Seesaw. When you post your self-portrait to Seesaw, I'd like you to tell me what you think your self-portrait shows about you. Have fun. See you later.